So the first thing we need to do with this bird is brine it. And I got a pot full of already hot water, and we're gonna get this started. All right, so you've seen me do brines before. This is basically the exact same one. Gonna start out with a cup of kosher salt. We got a cup of brown sugar. We're gonna throw in some parsley, rosemary, and thyme. I got this beautiful premix here. Get at my local grocery store. Real nice. And now this, you gotta be careful now. You want exactly 14 peppercorns. 14 of these. Be very, very precise about that, all right? Very precise. Measure carefully. And we're gonna add to it just a little splash of this. Give it just a little spice. I tried this once before, just to see what would happen. Oh my God, it's beautiful. But you only want to use a splash. When we heat this up, it will clear out your sinuses. So that's it. That's all you want to put in there. And now we're going to crank up the heat and get it boiling. Now, the whole reason why we want it to boil is we got salt, we got brown sugar in there, and we want that to fully dissolve. And when it starts to boil, it's going to wake up all these herbs, and it's all going to get talking to each other. And just the smell in here is going to be amazing. And when you go through the process of boiling it, it's going to make it a more concentrated brine, because all these herbs and stuff, they're going to spread out and they're going to get into that turkey just the way we want. But once it boils, you want to bring it down to a simmer. Just let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Then after that, we're going to let it cool. All right, so this brine has cooled off. I've got my turkey out, thawed, and now we're ready to drop it in. Oh yeah. Be careful when you do this. Take your time. Make sure it fills up with the brine. And you know what? I'm going to turn it breast side down to increase, make sure that it's where we want it. And I'm going to go ahead and stuff that down in there. Give it a little bit extra. Oh. Now I do want this submerged, so I'm going to have to add just a little bit more water. And then this is just going to go in the refrigerator overnight. All right, so now that the bird is out of the brine, we need to butter it. And I'm going to start off with this poultry herb seasoning. It's got parsley, sage, thyme, and rosemary in here. You can just as much or little as that as you want. What the heck? Let's use it all. We're going to add a little bit of kosher salt here. It's already salted butter, but you know what? I want a little more salt. And I've got this accent seasoning. It's kind of a salt substitute. And we're just going to throw a little bit of that in there now. And we need to mix it up. This butter's been softening overnight. Oh, which makes it easier to work with, and at the same time a whole heck of a lot harder to work with. But we got to get it mixed up, and you're going to want something better than what I have. That's getting butter all over the place. And I think now we got to switch over to a little bit more manual. I'm gonna have to do this anyway momentarily for buttering the turkey. We want to make sure we get all that in there. Look how pretty that is. That's gonna taste so good. All right, let's have a look at this turkey now. Been brining overnight, looking beautiful. Now, you may notice in here, I've got the herbs left over from the brine that I did. I decided, hey, let's use that. That was a spur of the moment, never done it before. I've seen people stuff apples and oranges and all sorts of stuff in there. I've never noticed that it does much. But butter always makes it better. So now we want to get an opening here between the skin and the breast meat itself. Now, the reason why you want to do that is this is basically like a paper bag, or worse, a plastic bag. If you put the butter out here, it's not going to get to the meat. And none of the herbs and seasoning and salt or any of that's going to get where you want it at. So, I'm going to take a big old glob of butter, stick it in there, spread it around a little bit. There we go. You can see it all lumpy there. Start to ooze out a little bit here. And now we're going to spread it all over this turkey. Now, I got it out early this morning. I dried it off. And I let it get up closer to room temperature. It's not room temperature. This thing is still pretty darn cool. But the warmer you get it, the easier putting your butter on is going to be. And we just want it all over the place. Let's get some big old chunks here on the wings. I don't know about y'all, but I like the wings. It's always my favorite. And you can't put too much butter on here. You just can't. You saw I had 4 whole sticks here. 4 of them. Use 5 if you got a bigger bird. Or 8 if you just really love butter. Because like I said, butter makes it better. Makes everything better. Throw some butter in the comments if you like. Get those wings. Now, something you got to make sure you do when you get your bird. They like to hide the giblets in here. Now, if you like making gravy with it, yeah, you definitely want to save that. But you don't want to leave it in there either way. I have inadvertently in the past completely forgotten about it. And I cooked it with the turkey. It didn't mess it up, but boy, was that a surprise when I went to cut it up. Yeah, there we go. We're not going to worry about the bottom too much. I think the rest of this, we're going to just stuff that butter in there. Make sure you get all that out of there. And that will help get butter down in the lower parts of the turkey. And now it's time to take it and put it on the smoker. One thing I almost forgot to do, we could have done it outside, you can do it in here. Now my thermometers can unplug, the probes unplug from the thermometer itself. So it's actually easier to do this in here. My first probe, going here in the breast, and you want it here in the thickest part. That's the one we're worried about the most. The thighs, well, we want to know what they're doing, but that's not going to be the end-all be-all of our temperature concerns. We're going to aim for 165 on the breast. The thighs should end up being higher. Now, when you're checking it, you do want it closer to the joint if you can. I don't know if I'm there, but we're not using that as a primary determinant for our cooking. All right, now to put it on the smoker. Now, and this, of course, is going to be a little messy. Oh, we can't forget any of that butter. There we go. And now we got this set for 235 degrees. Now, most guys smoking will go for maybe 265, but I want to let this go a little lower, a little slower, and it'll catch more of that smoke flavor that we really want in our turkey. And this turkey is ready. See, it's at 165. The thighs are up 179, almost 180. This turkey is perfect. Let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's turn that alarm off. Absolutely gorgeous. You can hear it sizzling. All nice and golden. Oh, this is just absolutely amazing. Now we're going to take it inside and let it rest for about 45 minutes to an hour. Look at this beautiful bird. Now it's time to carve it because I got a bunch of angry people in there. They're hungry. Not hangry. Not angry. Not hungry. They're hangry. So first, got to find that center bone right there. We're going to take this breast off. And you want to follow that down to the bone. Oh, yeah. Look at that. You want to just follow the bone. Now you're going to have to cut that over there a little bit. Cut the skin. Oh, all those juices coming out. There it is. And we're going to set this over here for the moment. While we're here, let's see about getting this wing out of there. These are always my favorite. They're always kind of crispy. And we're just going to set that right there. Going to look nice. Now you need to trim this piece of skin that holds drumsticks down. And I like to lift up, cut from the back side. There you go. Oh, you even heard it pop. Just right through there. Whoa! And this is why you try to not make a mess. Now the thigh, if you can, oh, it just peels off. Just popped it right out of the bone there. We're going to put that on that side. And then we're going to swap it around to the other side. Let's go ahead and get that first this time. And once again, you find the center point. And you just cut down till you get to the bone. I gotta use my hands. It's all right. They clean. I washed them sometime this week. And we got that other wing. We'll match it over on the other side. Get the drumstick. I don't know why kids love these, but they do. Make them feel like Henry VIII. There we go. Found that joint. Now, pop out that other thigh. And try not to cut your hands off. Look how pretty that's presenting. Now, this, you got a little extra breast meat here. Pull that off if you want. But for the most part, that's ready to go to the trash. And it's not going to take up a whole lot of space in your refrigerator when you got leftovers. So now, finally with the breast, got to have a nice, super sharp slicer like this. And when you butcher, well, not butcher, when you carve a turkey just right, it disappears quicker. And you're going to have less leftovers to have to deal with. Get up on there now. Come on. There we go. And we're going to do the same to this breast over here. Just take a look inside how juicy that is. That's what you need to worry about, not X number of pounds for X number of hours. It's the temperature. Always the temperature. You want these breasts at 165 degrees. Anything else is either going to be raw or overcooked. And when it's cooked right, people will be coming back for seconds and thirds. And you won't have to deal with leftovers. And by doing it this way, you make something real pretty to go on the table. Take a look at that. Look at that. All sliced up nice. A little bit of that extra shredded up stuff throw on there. And we're ready to serve. And now we're going to give some of this turkey a try before all those vultures in there jump on it. And this is just so juicy. It smells good. Oh, that's so good. It's just absolutely perfect. Always get the temperature just right. Don't worry about the time. Focus on your temperatures. And for turkey, the breast, 165 is perfection. So, with that, I'll catch you next time. Are you still here? The video's over. Oh wait, you forgot to like, comment, and subscribe. Go do that now. I'm going to bed.